the Meddling Kids Podcast, a groovy review of Scooby-Doo. I'm Julie Kin, and I'm here today with my son, who's going by the name...
The Potter Boy.
The Potter Boy. That sounded really freaky. Very nice. And today we're talking about A Tiki Scare is No Fair. And before we get started reviewing this episode, I just want to make it clear to our listeners and to you, my son, I really don't know anything about the culture that they kind of used and abused in this episode, and I kind of feel like the writers didn't either, because there's a witch doctor at one point, and they keep using the word tiki and tiki gods, and I can't help but feel like it might be a little offensive to people who actually have that religion.
Yeah.
So we're going to be talking about a witch doctor and a tiki dude, because that's what they were called in the episode, but we'd love to hear from our listeners writing in or giving us places to go online to learn more about this culture. Does that sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so kiddo, where does this episode take place?
Hawaii.
That's right, and we don't really know exactly where on Hawaii, except it's someplace near an active volcano that has like lava spewing from the top, but that doesn't actually seem to be a problem during the episode. No one's really concerned about it. We open with Shaggy at a luau, chomping down a bunch of food, talking to Mr. Sims, their tour guide, who is also a newspaper writer. And he's telling Mr. Sims that it's been a great time, and he can't wait to go to the abandoned village nearby.
Considering that he's actually Shaggy, I don't really get why he would want to.
Well, I don't think he knew that it would be haunted.
It's in the name.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Maybe he just thought it was like a tourist attraction or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? That's a really good point. That was very unshaggy-like to be like, we're going to go check out this abandoned village. That'll be fun.
Fred took over his brain.
Maybe. And you were impressed with how Scooby was eating the hot dog.
Oh, yeah. Well, two things, actually. One, he kept on chomping it. And, none of it got reduced. It was, all there. But then, when he actually started chomping it, he chomped and chomped and chomped until there was nothing left but a bone. Who puts a bone inside of a hot dog? Is my question.
I mean, we are not experts on meat. We'll admit that right off the bat.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was weird. Mr. Sims is like, don't go there, it's haunted. That's a really stupid idea. And Shaggy's like, okay, we won't.
Yeah.
But then he's
Shaggy.
He's Shaggy. He was easy to convince. But then all of a sudden, they hear drumming, and they look over, and the drums are playing themselves. Yeah, it sounded just like that.
Except without the...
Yeah, except for without the cymbal thing. Yeah. Then we see
It's gotta be more high-tech.
Right. And then we see this dude in a tiki costume. And just imagine every time I say tiki, air quotes around that, because I don't know if it's tiki or indigenous to this island or what. So give me a break. This tiki guy, the tiki dude, is like, leave this area or face our vengeance. Face the vengeance of Tiki something. I forget the name of the god. Yes, it was very spooky.
It was very woo.
Yeah, it really was. Meanwhile, and everyone runs and flees and goes off into different directions. So, and if anyone hears little crunching noises in the background, it's us playing with our awesome Scooby-Doo figures that Lenka sent us last month. Okay, So instead of at the ice cream parlor or the soda shop like they usually are, they're at the pineapple parlor. And
pineapple parlor, get your pineapples. Only $59.99 each.
and
a $2,000 tax.
Yes, excellent, love.
They were really expensive.
That is really high price. Daphne and Fred are dancing-ish. It looked weird. It's their usual dance, where basically just the animation is them, somewhat gyrating, I guess. Daphne's just looking like she's drowning her sorrows in some pineapple. But then Shaggy shows up and says...
You mean Velma?
Velma, thank you. What does Shaggy say?
Go, ghost!
That's right. And Fred's like, get a hold of yourself. So Shaggy wraps his arms around himself and says, that didn't help. And then Shaggy says, both Mr. Sims and Scooby are both gone. Velma says, it's a scientific fact that people don't vanish, which is not very helpful, Velma.
It's actually Daphne.
I know, that was Velma, totally.
Actually, no, it was Daphne, I think.
It was Daphne who was laying some science on him? Okay, maybe.
Actually, I think it was, actually.
I bet you a minifig it was Velma.
If I'm not giving you a minifig if you win.
Okay, what do I get if I win?
A hug.
But I want a hug if I... Oh, yeah, I get it. Okay, yeah. Good. All right. Wait, do I have to give you a minifig?
Yeah.
No, you get a hug.
No, you get a hug.
I get a hug. Great. The end. Okay. Moving on. We're not very good at that.
No.
No, we're not. Okay. So they get back in the mystery machine to go look for Scooby, Mr. Sims, and find clues. But all they find there is this old dude wrapped in like a purple robe or something over his head, or like a purple blankie. And then he disappears. Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. And then they hear another ghost drum, and it's coming closer and closer. And Fred's like, let's evacuate.
Evacuate? Wrong word, dude.
What do you think evacuate means, dear?
Get out of there.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay. Right word. Never mind.
Yeah. No,
Sorry. Fred,
no, that's
dude.
okay. Because people also
Guys.
say like evacuate your bowels, which means to like poop a whole bunch. So I didn't know if that's what you were thinking, but apparently not. It's just me being gross. So I'm very sorry about that. Let's move on. All right. So Scooby hops out of the drum. He was hiding in there the whole time. And then Fred is like, we got to find Mr. Sims. He took us to 47 luau's, and if we don't find him, there might not be a 48th. My dear son, we went to Hawaii when you were much younger.
I know.
For a conference,
I know.
but we didn't do a luau. I'm sorry. We'll
I
have
know.
to try that because I want to try poi. That's the stuff they were eating at the end
Poi.
of that. Poi. Looks really good.
It sounds cool too.
Yeah. Okay. Velma, let's see. Okay. They are running around looking for clues, and the kids find the sign of a struggle and someone being dragged away. Now, now, Potter Boy, let's say you were in this situation where your tour guide was missing. You find some footprints and signs of a struggle. What do you do at this point?
Well, how to handle this by the Potter Boy. First, get out of there.
Yeah, good. Okay, so you would
Second,
evacuate.
Get out of there. Third, run for your life.
You sound a
The
little
end.
Shaggy-esque, but I like it.
Shaggy-ish, you mean?
Shaggy-ish. Okay. I like it, though. It's good. They follow the signs of the struggle and someone being dragged away. And then Velma finds an article from some random newspaper by Mr. Sims talking about how Mono Tiki Tia has been haunting villages. So the big kids, meaning like Velma, Daphne, and Fred, are like, great, let's go check out that haunted village we've been wanting to see. Scooby and Shaggy need some convincing, so Daphne tries to convince Scooby to track Mr. Sims using his Great Dane nose for a Scooby snack. But Shaggy What?
It was Fred.
Oh, you're right, it was Fred. But Shaggy wants the snack, so he does the search too. And meanwhile, the old creepy dude is just there in a bush laughing, and the only reason I'm calling him creepy is because he's in a bush laughing.
And he's creepy.
And frankly, he was a little creepy. Okay, Shaggy and Scooby get scared away by some bats, and then they run back into the big kids. There's going to be a lot of running and running into each other in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know why they are together, and then they're separate, and then they're together, and they're separate. Just, we need a big board with pictures all across the room and pieces of string connecting it.
One of those things.
Do you remember the big giant thing they find? Can you tell the listeners about it?
A big, giant wooden dude who has red gleaming eyes. Wait, is that red?
I think
gleaming eyes? Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, and I think actually they were more orange. Sorry, giant dude. Sorry for getting your eye color wrong. I don't know something. So yeah, there's basically just a big wood metal man.
Definitely man-made.
Man-made. Yeah.
It looked stone to me, but it was rolling on wheels, and that would have been super duper heavy.
Yeah.
I don't think it could have been made out of stone, but it could have been like you say, wood and then painted gray or something. And it looks like a giant tiki dude. And so they're like, that's the giant statue of Mono Tiki Tia. And look, we happen to be in the haunted village now. So apparently the village was 20 feet away this whole time.
Yeah.
So that's convenient. The kids get scared away by the human-sized tiki dude again, and some big growling noises. Do you remember what that was?
No.
I'll give you a hint.
Oh, it was a big pig thing.
Yeah, also known as a boar, and her piglets. Yes, Scooby and Shaggy are totally freaked out by this snorting noise, and Shaggy tries to use Scooby as a weapon by like lifting him up by his tail.
And he's like totally stiff too.
Yeah, just swinging him all around. Scooby has really good abdominal muscles to be able to do that, but it doesn't work, and they get stompled.
Stompled.
The big
Quote
kids.
Judy B. Jones.
Yes, from Judy B. Jones. The big kids got separated by a rotating wall, and now they're inside something that to me looked like a holy sanctuary. And inside the holy room, when
Holy
Fred.
sanctuary.
Yes, what happens to poor Velma when Fred lifts up a torch?
She falls.
Down a trapdoor. Yeah. There's always got to be at least one trapdoor or secret passage.
Yep.
And while she's in there, it hides herself in a big pile of grass or something.
Yeah.
But then the tiki dude finds her because she sneezes.
But she sneezes all the hay right into his face. So.
Oh, that's true.
Good job, Velma. Nice aim.
Yeah, because then she was able to run away. And she also saw Mr. Sims' hat in there, by the way. Yeah. Outside, Scooby and Shaggy are being...
And she's like, oh, good. It's a clue. You know, he could have just taken his hat off. I mean, if he's in a struggle, the hat probably would fall off.
Fair. Who do you like better, Velma or Daphne, as far as the females go in the show?
Velma.
Why?
Definitely. Because she's smarter.
Fair. And because your mom's kind of like Velma?
No.
Because your mom's awesome like Velma?
Yeah, but if you take your glasses off, you're not really dumb.
That's true. I'm just blind without them. Okay, so I will stop fishing for compliments from my son, because it's weird. Okay.
And it's never gonna happen.
Outside, Shaggy and Scooby are being chased by the giant statue, and we can tell it's on wheels. This isn't a spoiler. Like, at this point, it's clear that it's on wheels. Mm-hmm. But Velma grabs them and helps them escape. Mm-hmm. And then the tiki dude chases them again, and they refer to him as a witch doctor, so he's a witch doctor, apparently.
There's no funky music in this one.
Oh, yeah, good point. There was no funky music. This would have been the time for it.
Yeah, definitely.
And there's so many great Hawaiian musical artists that they could have used, but oh well. Mm-hmm. Let's see. So Velma, Scooby, and Shaggy run into a hut and start piling furniture against the door, but the tiki dude's actually in there with them, handing them the furniture to pile.
Yeah.
And when they realize this, my dear son, you said, isn't it weird how we never hear them scream?
Yeah. I mean, they don't... I mean, maybe I haven't watched as many episodes as my mom, but...
Yeah, but, I mean, don't you think it would be way scarier if they were like, oh my gosh, it's going to get me, this is horrible.
True.
I'm depressed and saddened by these events.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. Anyway, the old dude peeks out from behind something, so he's still there too, but he's not really helping or haunting. He's just kind of there creeping.
Stalker.
Yeah, he is a bit of a stalker. Said the boy who's really into Google Earth. But I guess that's not stalking. That's just checking out different countries and stuff.
Yeah.
In fact, we should check out Hawaii later.
Yeah.
Okay, Shaggy and Velma pretend to be Tarzan and Jane and a chimp, along with Scooby. And this totally works to trick the tiki guy. He's like, oh, that's a plausible thing.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Fred and Daphne find on a table a whole bunch of oyster shells and pearls.
Money! I mean, I'm surprised that they don't pocket anything.
Are you?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like they're pretty, legal-minded.
Why wouldn't they go into somebody's house?
Okay, they do break in and enter a lot. All right, fair. So pearls are, I guess, natural pearls are... Did I just erase everything? No. Oh, good. Ooh, I'm an idiot. Okay, sorry. I'm not an idiot. Mommy's smart, like Velma. Okay. Pearls aren't, that expensive. I mean, they are expensive, don't get me wrong, but, enough to make them pay for this entire thing. It's not like diamonds and rubies. Okay, meanwhile, Shaggy says, I'm too whacked to walk, which I'm not exactly sure what that means. I didn't know if you had a clue.
He's too scared to walk?
That could be. All right, we'll go with that.
Yeah. Let's go with everything I say, because I'm smarter than Velma.
Excellent. Meanwhile, they find an old fireplace. Nope, that's not right. Thank you, spell check. Meanwhile, they find an old airplane that is tricked out to
Airplane
scare
fireplace.
them. I don't know. I'm not a very good typer. With a fake skeleton. And Scooby finds an old tape recorder right there to make the skeleton laugh.
Yeah.
So, again, this is really elaborate for some pearls. But then the skeleton laughs without the cord. It's not tricked out still. And so I don't know if we're supposed to assume that the skeleton is really haunted or what.
Yeah.
What do you
because
think?
it never really shows the skeleton again in the episode.
That's true. So this is some unburied corpse just waiting for its final resting place.
Yeah.
Like, can I please be let out of this airplane? I really don't care to be here. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here comes like the weirdest part of the episode. The kids all reunite. Fred says, the mystery's starting to fit together. My son says,
nope.
No, it does not. Then we see the old dude go into water and like motion them all to follow him down under the water. And for some reason, they all do this into a secret cavern.
And Shaggy goes first, which is really surprising.
Yes. Maybe he's like you and loves swimming.
Yeah.
And then we have a commercial break, but after that, we'll find out what happens to them.
Hey, my name's Paul, and I'm not an animal expert.
I'm Donna, and I'm not an animal expert either.
And together we do a podcast about animals called Varmints.
Every week we pick an animal, do a bunch of research on it, and bring you some interesting facts about that animal.
But we don't stop there. We talk about that animal in movies, TV, and other pop culture.
And we talk about whether or not that animal would make a tasty dish, and how intelligent we think it is on the scale of 1 to 10.
It's exactly like one of those fancy PBS nature documentaries.
Except with more poo jokes.
New episodes go live every Thursday wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
Or you can visit us at blazingcariboustudios.com.
Varmints! Varmints!
So now they're in the secret cavern.
Are we back again?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, yeah. You know, I've swam before, you know, yeah. It's a second task, yeah.
Oh, I get
second
it.
task, Tri-Wizard Tournament, you know what I mean. Yeah, okay.
I do. Thank you for that. So this is what's really weird. They went through this whole shenanigan of like going under the water into the secret cavern, and when they get up out of the water and walk through the hall, they're just back in another hut, and the Tiki Dude is there, and then they're outside again in the same exact area they were before.
Yeah, so either it's just a really big circle, or a lot of trees look the same.
That's a good point. It might be a completely different area, but there was also the giant Tiki statue is still there.
Yeah. Maybe there's 2.
Okay, fair. All right. Yeah, let's go with that,
Maybe
'cause otherwise...
Maybe there's like 6. I mean, it's going to be everywhere, people.
Yeah, why did
Or maybe it's just really fast.
I guess, but why would the old dude want them to get all wet? I mean, it looked uncomfortable.
Yeah.
No, I'm all wet. Okay.
But after they get out, they're not wet at all.
Oh, that's a good point. They dried immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, cartoons. So the kids hide inside a hut, and then the big giant comes to, like, look under all the huts, and they play the shell game, like we were reading about in that magic book, where, you know, you, like, hide the key under the shells. And then they run away, and, of course, they all get separated again. And there's this rotating wall that Scooby and Shaggy keep hiding behind to get away from the Tiki Dude.
And there's an obvious button there.
Mm-hmm.
So when Fred and when Shaggy and Scooby get separated from them by that wall, it's like there's a button right there.
Yeah, exactly. And when the first time the Tiki Dude presses the button, Scooby is in a bathtub,
and
scrubbing
then
himself.
he screams.
He screams at,
Dude,
there's a scream.
Guess so. And then, dude, the dog was naked before.
That's true.
But he had a collar.
Yeah. That's right. No collar.
He still had.
Sorry. Okay, I'm getting a weird look from my kid. Moving on. And then the next time, Shaggy is tap dancing.
And the next time, Scooby is a hula dancer.
And he did great.
Yeah,
he was really sweet.
Good job, Scooby. You're amazing at that.
I know, he's got so many skills, right?
Yeah.
And then the last one, Shaggy is juggling dishes, and the Tiki Dude is just getting super duper mad and just pushes the button like 100 times that the kids end up, or Scooby and Shaggy end up flying out of the wall into a bush.
And then,
Yes, and then once they're in the bush, they end up looking like a bushy leaf monster, and it scares the tiki dude away. And this gives Fred his amazing plan. Are you able to summarize this plan?
he's there too. Well, no, because where did they get that mirror thing?
He says, let's get that trick amusement park mirror we keep in the mystery machine.
Oh, wait. Where did they get that?
Well, from some amusement park they robbed. But here's another question.
Yeah.
They're on an island. How'd the mystery machine get there?
Yeah. Yeah, good point.
Or maybe they didn't take the mystery machine with them, but they did take the mirror with them?
Yeah.
Like, we might need this. I'd
Yeah.
love to see all their luggage.
Yeah.
So they hide this mirror in some leaves near a pit, and the idea is, like, trap the tiki dude into looking at himself in the mirror. He'll be freaked out by his own reflection and then fall in a pit. And it totally works.
But not on the tiki guy.
Oh, right. Yeah, but not on the tiki guy. It works on Scooby and Shaggy. They accidentally...
Good job, Fred. Your engineering really actually worked.
Yes. For once.
Actually, it worked.
Sometimes it works. I think he has a 50-50 hit rate.
Yeah.
But it ends up being okay. So, like, Scooby and Shaggy end up scaring themselves, and they run up a palm tree onto the top of the giant, and then the giant is grabbing and trying to get them, and instead grabs the tiki dude, and then the giant falls into the pit, and they're able to unmask the tiki dude, and it is...
The dude who was
Mr.
Sir guy?
That was a good
I'm
try.
not good with names.
It's okay. It was Mr. John Sims, their
my
tour guide. I know. They trusted him so much.
I can't believe it.
But how did the giant work?
They pulled the head off of the giant.
I
Is
think
that it?
just like his henchman was just kind of like hanging out with a concussion. And they're like, oh, that was just his henchman. And the henchman is like, you did not just tell me to hench. And
Quote Phineas and Ferb, another good show.
Absolutely. Mr. Sims apparently just wanted to scare away tourists to do his pearl poaching in peace.
Always. It's
Yes.
just a scare off.
But good thing, and they were like, but how? Why? What's going on?
Yeah.
And then the old dude says, maybe I can help answer some questions.
And he pulls off the mask, or it's a mask.
Yeah.
The old wrinkly mask, and then there's this, and then it's a dude. He's a pretty handsome dude.
He is pretty handsome, right?
Yeah.
His name is Lieutenant Tomorrow, Hawaii PD. And apparently he's been on their trail this whole time, but the kids helped him.
Another stalker.
Yeah. But the kids helped him speed up the chase.
Yeah.
And he says, so your last day of vacation is on me. And then we see an awesome party. Scooby is surfing. Velma's hula dancing.
Shaggy's eating some
Poi.
poi.
Uh-huh.
Poi. He's a poi boy. He is.
And Scooby's surfboard is kind of incredible because he's surfing really well. Of course, it's Scooby. Of course, he can surf amazingly.
He's
And
a
it's
dog.
pink. It's a really nice color. And then there's apparently wheels on the bottom, so he's able to roll onto the sand and steal Shaggy's poi and ride off into the sunset.
Yeah.
So,
Wait, I have a question about that surfboard.
let's hear it.
You know, are some surfboards have that shark fin thing on the bottom?
Yes.
Wouldn't that like stop the wheels?
Probably. I don't think surfboards have those anymore. I don't know. You should ask Olaf, your father. That's his pseudonym. Because he used to surf a lot when he lived in California. Yeah. Oh, so he claims. I've never actually seen him do it. It could be.
He wouldn't do that.
Could be his fake backstory. So here's my question for you. Over the past few days, we have been dog sitting a Great Dane. Have you solved any mysteries with Pakaya?
They like to pee.
That's true. It's the mystery of how does this dog drink so much water and like not pee all over the place, except when we're walking him and then he pees on like every single bush to market. Yeah, it was pretty incredible getting to hang out with a Great Dane though. He had really floppy lips. Like when he lied on his side while you were playing video games, like one lip would like reach all the way down to the ground. It was so long and floppity.
Yeah.
Dogs
He
are
helped
cool.
me play Star Wars Battlefront.
Oh, perfect. Okay, well, Well, that's great. Anything else you want to say about this episode, or anything you liked in particular?
Oh, yeah. Oh, and by the way, listeners, if you happen to come across any Scooby-Doo items, just, get it for us.
No begging the listeners.
Why not?
Because they're already helping us by listening to our show. If they really want to help us, they can give us iTunes reviews. Did you just say groan?
Yeah, I said groan.
You said groan. You didn't groan. You just said the
I'm
word
like
groan.
I'm like the Joker from Lego Batman movie. Wink, wink, winky, wink, wink, wink.
If you guys want to help us, I mean, you can send my spoiled children things, which they really don't need, or you can.
But you can try it.
But you can rate us and review us on iTunes or wherever you get podcasts, and you can tell friends, people who like Scooby-Doo or just like cartoons, or just like hearing a mother and son bond over the love of a good doggy.
And Harry Potter.
And Harry Potter, of course. Yeah. We definitely need to figure out a Harry Potter Scooby-Doo crossover.
Yeah. And if you find it,
let us know.
And get it for us.
No begging. You can get in touch with us on Facebook and Twitter at meddlingkidspod, or email us at meddlingkidspod@gmail.com. Check us out online on our Facebook community. It's great. We have a special Scooby-Doo discussion group that's really, really fun. It's usually actually about weird food combinations.
Wait, what? Yeah.
It's a discussion group. That's where sometimes we post Facebook Live videos of like really weird like liverwurst and marshmallows. Oh yeah, we posted on there about our marshmallow goldfish cracker treats and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's fun. Yay, Scooby. Thanks to Dave Seste for the use of our music, and hopefully we'll get Steven back pretty soon. Thanks, Dave. Steven's dealing with some health issues, but he sends everyone his love, his podcasty love. So that does it for us today. Whatever you've been up to this week, just remember, you would have gotten away with it if it weren't for us meddling kids.
But I love doing that.
Doing podcasting or making that noise?
Both.
Okay, excellent. Let's keep it up.
Okay.